Hi, welcome to the video. Thanks for clicking my video. You look at this guy. So, you know this guy. Be real with yourself. You know this guy on the screen right now. Everybody knows this guy, including my grandma. My grandma owns a t-shirt of this guy, with this guy on the t-shirt, and she wears it to church, okay? So when I say the words, Super Mario Odyssey, oh my gosh, dude, my brain is just flooded with dopamine. I love this game to death. It's probably my favorite single-player game ever, okay? And I've played Bakugan Battle Brawlers for the Wii, which, as we all know, is the best game ever, so you know I'm serious. But I'm not just saying this out of nostalgia, because it came out when I was already a teenager. You can't be nostalgic for things that happened when you're already old. But, in fact, now that I'm thinking about it, even when I was a kid, my first and only experience with, 3D Mario games, I went to a friend's house in 3rd grade. I think his name was Alec. Alec with a C. I just doxed him. Sorry about that, Alec. I haven't talked to him in years. I'm rambling already. It's 20 seconds in the video. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I went over to his house to play the first Mario Galaxy for the first time. And, because he had told me it was 2-player, which I guess it technically is, but, not really. And then he proceeded to give me a dead controller and then accused me of breaking it. And I guess he had just, forgotten that I owned a Wii. And, contrary to popular opinion, I do know what batteries are. So I just left and watched SpongeBob in his room by myself. So you could say I have anti-nostalgia for 3D Mario. And yet, I think Odyssey is a treasure, an absolute treasure. And yes, I do feel dumb using that word as an adjective. But I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm making this video to honor its 3rd birthday, It's crazy to think about. It's a 3-year-old game. I literally remember I remember watching the E3 trailers and being like, whoa, this is so cool. And now I'm an old man. I'm a boomer! Yeah. When this game, when this game came out, I was a scrawny, acne-covered high schooler. And now, I'm a scrawny, acne-covered college student. So much has changed in my life, and, I've been playing this game through all of it. Yeah. For the following 10 to 15 minutes, I would like to take you all on a journey, or as some might say, an odyssey. October 27th, 2017. The Switch was fairly new, but it was still extremely successful. So much so that there was a shortage of systems, which we all probably remember. It was $300 to get a Costco bundle filled with games that I didn't even want. But the reason for this shortage was just because of the dummy thick library of games, okay? It just goes to show that, if you make good games, people will buy them. People will go very, very far. People will pay a lot of money to play good games. Mario Odyssey, and Breath of the Wild as well, both became the fastest-selling and best-selling games of their respective franchises. Do you know how powerful that statement is, dude? Mario and Zelda, big hitters, and they got topped. That's like the world record on Wario's Goldmine being beaten by Mr. Bean 3000 5 years after he had set the world record, and he beat it himself again 5 years later after no one else could. I don't know why I just said that. Needless to say, these guys are pretty popular. Odyssey sold 1.1 million copies worldwide in just 5 days. 5 days. And then by a few months later after its release, it became the best-selling game on the Switch at around 9 million units. By now, it's been surpassed by other games, but for the time, it was crazy, dude. And Nintendo themselves were super public about their satisfaction with the game. They were tweeting about it. And, today, the number of units sold has reached 18 million. All these years later, it's still up there with the big dogs like Animal Crossing and Pokemon. And yet, somehow, despite all of these statistics and record-breaking sales numbers, I literally only know 2 other people who have played this game, who own it on their Switch. And it kind of breaks my heart, I see so often people feel like there's like a war between Mario and Zelda, and they feel like they have to choose either get Odyssey or Breath of the Wild. But that's not true. That's not how it be. I own both of these games, and I like them both, okay? So I understand that maybe some people feel like Mario has been oversaturated by Nintendo. They already have like 5 or 6 Mario games, while there's only like 2 Zelda games, with a third one coming out, whatever. But still, that's for a good reason, you know? Like for crying out loud. This nation is founded upon Mario, okay? Show some patriotism. So anyway, enough economics, okay? Now I'm just going to talk about the game itself, because that's what I actually know. I kind of just Wikipedia'd all that stuff I just said, but now it's coming from personal experience, okay? So I imagine if you're watching this video, you've either already played Mario Odyssey, or you're on the fence about buying it. So, or I guess maybe you're just another bloke who thought this was the next episode of Sword Daigo. If that's the case,
what's wrong with you?
So yeah, Mario Odyssey, he has a hat now. And it's practical, yet fashionable. You know what they say. So the combos that you can do in this game, like to jump the farthest or move the fastest, they get really complicated pretty fast. And when I tried to get my brother to play, that's what made him stop at level 2. He couldn't handle all the button inputs. But here's his first successful attempt. He did it one time, then dropped it. Anyway, yeah, so for a beginner, this game does get super hard. Like, I've heard people complain about the difficulty, saying Mario Odyssey is like too easy, and then it's hand-holdy. But, like, dude, I had trouble with this game. El Dominator, the gamer, I died several times on my first playthrough, especially on, like, the final parts of it. I remember having to, like, literally turn off the game and do, like, breathing exercises and Zumba because I was becoming so irked, so angered, you know? But I gotta say, when you get going, a holy moly do you get going. The movement in this game is so fluid and intuitive. The speedrunning community is still active today. After 3 years, people are still speedrunning it and getting crazy. Like, I remember when speedrunning first started, it was around like the hour 20 minute mark. You can beat this game in an hour and 20 minutes. And there were people saying like, okay, a human will never get sub-hour. Maybe a task bot can do it, but hey, Rudy toot toot, my friend, this happened a month ago. I don't know if this game is ever gonna stop getting faster and faster. The movement is just like that. It's intuitive. And I actually got into speedrunning a little bit. I dipped my toes in this water, but I never recorded anything because I didn't know how to. The only thing I recorded is when I tried to do a Koopa speedrunning pretty fast. So, which I'm showing on the screen right now, and I messed up. I don't think I ever got it successful. I think I got top 200 in the world, top 200, which is not bad. That's pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, you'll just have to take my word for it when I say that my fastest time completing Mario Odyssey is 43 minutes. Yes, 43 minutes. Now onto the structure of the game. It's somewhat level based, but you know, it's also open world because each of the 15 levels are so big and detailed, like you end up spending hours in each one. And I mean hours in each one. To really explore everything that each level has to offer, you gotta spend hours. Like, my first time playing through, I vividly remember this. When I would come to a new world, I would literally, feel overwhelmed at all the stuff that there was. And by stuff, I mean moons. Because, Mario 64 and Galaxy had stars as collectibles. Mario Sunshine had sun, shines, and Odyssey had moons. So it's very thematically appropriate, and oh boy, does it have moons. This game has secrets in its secrets. You think you discover one moon and you're like, that was a good secret, and then you leave. No, there was 50 other thingies in there that you missed because you were lazy. To truly 100% this game, you're looking at 50 or 60 hours or more. And that's if you cheat. I cheated my first time through because I got really impatient. Because some of the moons are kind of dumb, not gonna lie. They're just, I don't know how they reasonably expect people to find that. But, I mean, if that's your type of thing, if you're into Super Metroid and Donkey Kong Country, all the weird games where you have to find secrets that are impossible, then yeah, you'll love this game. But if you don't like that, if you don't wanna, that's fine, dude. That's fine. Odyssey is a very versatile game, which Donkey has covered. Many other people have also covered and stated in their reviews that you can literally choose how to play this game. It doesn't make you go do exactly what they want you to do. Like they obviously encourage you to play the game, so they say, okay, you can't just go to the final boss right away. You have to collect enough moons to get to the boss, but you literally need less than half of the total moons in the game to get to the final boss. That's why the main game takes so short, because you only have to do half of what's in the game to actually get there. But if they wanted to, dude, Nintendo could have very easily padded for gameplay time by forcing you to collect not every single moon, but the majority of the moons in order to get to Bowser. They could have done that, and then it would have taken a long time. But they didn't, because some people don't like that, and I really appreciate that. So now we get to my favorite part, okay? The creativity. Oh my gosh, dude. The creativity they had when they were making this game, when they were making the characters and environments, I mean, it makes me go... Okay, now let me tell you something. This game is Gourguz, gorgeous. Gorgeous, man. I mean, there's a meme that was in 2016 that I was in AP World History in high school, watching ifunny.co on my phone in the back of the class, and I saw the meme that said they animated Mario's individual mustache hairs. For what reason did they do this? I'll tell you why. It's beautiful. It looks pretty. It looks pretty. All right? And when I got about halfway through the game, I realized this. I was like, okay, this is actually crazy. I think it was when I got to the Bubblaine. Yeah, the beach place. I realized, this is freaking beautiful. And I started taking pictures with the screenshot mode in Odyssey, because it's a really good screenshot mode. Like, the camera positioning is really well done. I was actually inspired to do that by my friend who was into, Star Wars Battlefront photography. He got a lot of attention on it. He got, thousands of likes on Instagram for his stuff. I unfortunately never reached that status, but that ain't matter, okay? I'm glad that I, captured the memories when I did. Sometimes if I'm angry at a video game and I don't want to play video games anymore, but I still want to be on my Switch, I just go through my photos that I took, and I'll just look at each one by one, and just think about what I was doing back then. Thinking about what I was stressed about, thinking what I was thinking about. Yeah. So with the recent release of Mario 3D All-Stars, which I'm very, happy for, I'm sure that there are tons of people who played these games as kids, and they are just bursting at the seams with excitement at, the chance to re-experience these games that they played as children. I think it's pretty obvious by now that, when we were kids, video games were just different somehow. Kids are so much more imaginative and creative than boring old adults, I remember when I would play games as a kid, I would make goofy observations that would connect two things in a game that were not related at all. I would say, I wonder why Lego Batman's hat is not connected to his suit, because in the what is it? Michael Keaton movie that I had watched, it was just a neck. He had no neck, and he just had to turn his whole body. But I remember in the Lego movie, I was like, whatever. I'm rambling at this point. But yeah, I would... And I loved doing this. I loved creating lyrics to sing along to, the background game music that wasn't meant to be sung along to, but I would do it anyway. And, teenagers don't do that. Only kids do that. And I guess, with really, really good games, the tiniest details, for some reason, they just ingrained themselves in my mind. And occasionally, now that I'm older, they'll resurface. And I admit, every time I hear the intro cutscene for Smash Melee, my heart just melts a little. And, now that I'm better at video games, now that I play harder video games and I just play them for fun rather than my life, it's hard. It's hard to regain that mentality I used to have. Like, instead of inserting my own imagination and creativity into a game, I would just appreciate it for what it is, which isn't bad. It's not bad. It's just different. And I guess the games aren't as memorable when we're not kids when we play them. But I want you, the viewer, to understand that I mean this when I say that Mario Odyssey made me feel like a kid. And it still does anytime I play it. That's a very special thing. And I'm super grateful that this game exists. Despite everything that my parents and teachers might say, to me, video games are more than just time wasters or addictive hobbies. They're the best connection I have to my old self. They mark the different periods of my life, you know? They literally show how I've grown. And Odyssey is a work of art. Many games are works of art. Video games are an art form. They're a way for a creator to express themselves and let the player interact with what they've created. And it's one of the most, when done right, they're one of the most effective storytelling mechanisms out there. And you know, I can't wait. I can't wait for the day when I'm grown up and I have a family of my own, and I see that they're re-releasing Mario Odyssey for whatever the new super new mini power Nintendo 23DSi Lite Micro XL DDL EU Boy Virtual Advance SP Pocket Player and Knuckles Color Cube 64 and Watch Entertainment System featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, also plays on 2DS. When that day comes, I won't be able to contain my emotions. I will probably shed a tear for the first time in my life. Is what I would say if I was a baby and a girl, which I'm not. I'm a boy. I'm a boy who likes skateboarding and Mountain Dew. So yeah, I'm tough. Anyway, sorry to get emotional on you all. That was an embarrassing display of emotion over there. So I'm gonna quickly end the video. I'm satisfied with what I said. I stand by what I said. I recently got into like a mini beef on the internet because there was some guy who gave a really bad review of Mario Odyssey. He didn't like it. And then, you know, I wasn't mean in the comments. I don't think I was nasty. I just said, okay, I understand your points, because I agree. Mario Odyssey is not a perfect game. Far from it. It's got many flaws that to some people will ruin the entire experience. I don't deny that. There are some people who it's not their type of game. And I hope that the things that didn't do well in this game are going to get fixed in Odyssey 2, because of course they're going to do that. But until then, until Odyssey 2 comes out, I'm perfectly content just replaying Odyssey 1 over and over again, because it's just that type of game. I'm jealous of all the kids who are alive right now, and the kids getting to play this game. When they grow up, they're gonna be crazy for this game, dude. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I've been talking long enough. Alright, go do something else now. Thanks for watching my video, and bye.
It's time to jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will soar away. And if the dark clouds start to swirl, don't feel enchanted, 'cause I'll be your one-up girl. So let's all jump up super high, high up in the sky. There's no